Hey guys, Jeffries here and welcome back to Train Fever. Last episode we linked up all of the towns to their bus networks, apart from Edmonton, which of course has a tram network, and we also built a truck system in Accrington to transport coal and iron ore from this stop here, which is sort of on the fork of the road between the coal and the ore, up to the steel mill, which is up here, and then it also brings goods back into the city to help the city grow. Now, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I took some trucks off of this route because I didn't think we needed that many, to be quite honest with you. And I'm sure, well, we have got quite a lot of stuff waiting there, but it does pick up 4 each and every time, so I think we're okay for that one. What's the frequency like on this route now? 137 seconds. Ah, not as good as it once was. Problem is they're very, very close together at the moment, apart from that one. I was thinking of doing the same in Edmonton with the trams, but if we look at this, 1 every 54 seconds is actually quite slow. Oh, I got a little thing here, by the way, visible only, so you can have all. So if I turn that off, that's all of our lines. If I go visible only, that's just the ones that I can see in front of me right now, which in this case would be the tram. If I zoom down like that, that one appears. And sure enough, it comes up on there. So we've got a pretty decent system going here. Now we're raking in the money. We're making a nice little profit. So what I think that means is, there's a couple of things I want to do. I actually want to turn this station, if it lets me do it. There isn't a vehicle in the way. Oh, now I see why there's a vehicle in the way. We're going to turn this station into a 4-track. And we're going to build it like that. And the reason being is eventually we're going to build an extension which is going to come up over here to Castleford, because look at the size of Castleford. We can make so much money by building an extension there, and then that opens up possibilities to travel this way and eventually end up at Petworth. So that's that bit covered, and we're probably going to do something very, very similar over here at Polegate. Although having said that, maybe not. Brampton's the nearest town and that's quite a way away. So I think leaving that as it is actually a pretty good idea. But we are going to start building our tracks. We're going to build this side first. You can see it's actually, minus the landscaping, this is actually quite an affordable thing for us to build right now. And I've cocked up already. So let me do that again. We want a straight line to start with. No, wrong one. We want a straight line-ish. Something like... I mean, it will have to curve a little bit, obviously, but something like that. So we could do our little crossovers, and now we can go into heavy engineering building. We've got nice speed going up along here. We're not going to have bridges just yet. It's all going to be built up. We've got a couple of embankments like here. I kind of like the way it does that, actually. I like the way it builds the embankments. It's clever. And then it's going to curve round this way like this. And now I need to look at Accrington. This isn't Accrington at all, this is Boston. But I need to see roughly in which direction the track comes in from. And it's sort of like this. In fact, I could do this bit in one foul swoop. There we go. So that is now Boston linked via rail to Kingston upon Thames. Has this station kept its original name? It has. I like the fact that that's the case. So yeah, that's that bit done, and that's looking good. Now we're going to connect Boston to Accrington. And this is where things start to get a little bit trickier, because we might have a bit of a tight curve coming out of Boston. Oh no, we're okay there actually. We can go in a straight line if we wanted to. There you go. Now we're going to curve the track. Now it's this that I don't like. Well, actually, having said that, that's not bad. You can have quite an attractive stone bridge going on here. It's a bit more expensive, admittedly, but it's not much worse. And it looks nice. I'm not going to build that like that anyway, because it needs to go in a straighter line. So we're actually going to end up with quite a long, elongated bridge, because of the way it has to go up and over like that. But I'm quite happy with that, so let's build that, and let's have a look at it from the side. Yeah, that looks really nice. Look at that. That's fantastic. The graphics of this game are very, very impressive, it has to be said. They are very, very impressive. Right, we're going to carry on building. Okay, slight problem because of the road here. Can I curve it round like that? I can. Just can't build it straight. So we lose a little bit of straight line speed because we got a curve round there. But that's okay, because we can get it back again. In fact, no, that's not okay. That's bad. Right. Slight rethink needed. How far back do we have to come? Back to here. At this point, I want to try and keep the tracks as close to the river as possible. So maybe if we come around this way a little bit more. See, the railway's nice and cheap if you run it flat near water. I can see why it suggested it now. Now I can curve it like that to get it across the road. That looks better. Now we're on the other side of the road. I can curve it this way. Now we might need a small bit of tunnel here just to get it into Accrington. Although again, now I've said that, maybe not. This is, however, a little bit expensive if we go this way. But there's a huge cutting that needs to be dug there, and I don't really like the look of that. So let's see if I can come this way instead, like that, and then round. Yeah, we're running a little short on money, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Wait just a little bit for some money to come in, and then we'll carry on with the building. There's only 2 more towns after this one, and then we can start putting trains in, and that'll be when the money starts really rolling in, hopefully. Railways are expensive. This game, I can see where it's got its economical model from. It's very much like Cities in Motion in that buses are the cheapest, and if you want to build a railway, that's where you really want to be saving up your pennies, because it's very, very expensive. Metro in Cities in Motion is the most expensive in the game, and this is not far behind it in terms of how much money you actually need to build it. What's that coming from? That's iron ore. Is that actually coming from all the way over here? Can't be. That's a sawmill. That's a steel mill there. Is that an iron ore mine there? That's an iron ore mine. Accrington iron ore mine number 4. So what's number is this one? That's 1. Where are the others? There's one here. Ah, so if they actually managed to cart iron ore, I don't think they'd carry it that far, to be quite honest. But if they did, not a bad way to make some money there as well. Right, let's see if we can curve this line into Accrington now. We can. Is it going to the right bit? It does. Nice. So that's now Accrington linked up. It's a bit of a slalom track going on, and there is this deep cutting which I couldn't really avoid. Maybe if I'd kept the tracks on the other side of the river just a little bit longer. Maybe if I had the tracks slope round this way and then cross the river up here somewhere, or maybe even as far across as this and linked it up there. But it's done now. Right, Accrington to Edmonton is actually quite a short straight across these fields kind of deal. Where's the station? Up on this side. So actually the station itself is probably the hardest bit to get to. The town should be quite easy to get to. We've got a bit of a tricky getaway from here as well. Trying to keep the speed at 120 though, because then trains could be roaring up and down this route. It'd be very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Profitable. That's the one. Okay, so we got it to there. So we go straight across here, like that. We are destroying a few fields in the process, but I'm sure worse things have happened. Okay, so that's now Accrington and Edmonton linked up. And then we've only got this one to go, Edmonton to Polegate. Again, there's a bit of a deep cutting coming out of Edmonton, which I wish we could help, but we can't necessarily unless we did a really sharp bend like that. Then already you can see we're starting to lose a lot of our speed, so it's almost cheaper just to drive it straight. Well, actually no, it's not cheaper to do that at all, but yeah, it's 105k there, so we could do that and then curve it that way, like that. I can see the station. It's relatively... That's not flat at all, is it? There's tunnels and hills and all sorts going on here. We could end up with a tunnel to build that section, which actually I wouldn't mind. 600,000 we need to build the last section into Polegate. And we've managed to avoid tunnels and that so far, so maybe one there wouldn't be such a bad thing. You know, worse things have happened. We need some money coming in. We haven't got any money coming in so far. We've got a little bit, I suppose, here and there. Just got to wait. Whilst we're waiting, this is just one side of the track. Once this one's done, we've still got to do the other side, link it all up, and put signals in. So this railway is nowhere near complete yet. There's still a lot of work to do. But it is nice to see it actually taking shape. And once the trains start running as well, it'll be even better. And then once we got this bit done, we can draw the line this way to Castleford, and then on to Petworth, maybe even connecting to Minster and Bridlington and Rochester. Yeah, we've got some really good possibilities coming up now. Walton-on-Thames up here. Colchester seems to be quite popular. That might be coming off the Polegate side of things. We could maybe have a link up to Colchester, although again it's not very close. It's not the closest by any means. Right, let's have a go at building a little bit more of this track, shall we? So it is to there, and I can actually leave this like this until... So it's only a little bit of tunnel, the rest is all cutting. Is that my option? Standard tunnel. What's that? No tunnel. Does that make it more manageable? No. Tunnel is actually cheaper than cutting. Remember that, folks, if you're playing this game. The tunnel is cheaper than the cutting. Right, once this is done, what is it, 5 towns we're going to have linked across the map. That's going to be a massive amount of money coming in. So many people moving backwards and forwards. I don't know how many trains we're going to need, but I'm sure it'll be more than 2. We'll start off with 2, and then we'll rack it up. How about that? That sounds like a feasible business plan. Yeah, the buses are losing money at these station stops because there's no one getting on or off at the moment. And actually, Polegate, I don't think is a very profitable town right now. I think most of our money is actually coming from Edmonton and Accrington. So again, once those two are linked up, we'll have some money coming in. That's always good to see. I'm going to end this episode once I've built this bit of line, I think, because looking at the time, we're coming up to 15 minutes, and that's kind of my target for these episodes. Around 15 minutes, 20 tops. So yeah, once we get to that stage, then start wrapping things up. We're getting close to the money that we need. 616,000 we need, and we're currently on 602,000. So that's good to see. A couple more vehicles arrive somewhere. There you go, can afford it. Pop that in. Pop that into normal play. Gonna have to find a location for the depot as well, and my instinct is telling me to put it at Kingston, so then it can link up to all of the lines. The other option is just put one at Polegate and then do it that way. Well, I don't know. I mean, Kingston's not a bad place to put it. I don't know how I'm going to connect it up yet. Maybe have one on each side, so one here linking up, or one on this side of the river, and then have the little Y junction, and then one on this side of the road, and again have the little Y junction. I'm not 100% sure yet. What I do know is that this episode is now going to draw to a conclusion. So, thank you very much again, guys, for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed watching it, and until next time, I will see you soon.